Who here would like to achieve their goals and dreams? Raise your hand. Wow. Okay, I'm glad everybody raised their hand. Today, I would like to discuss with you all the new neuroscientific studies on how to increase willpower and your desire to live, and how these studies affect many aspects of our lives. According to the National Journal of Medicine's official website, the National Center of Biotechnology Information entails that the variability of how the anterior mid-cingulate cortex functions accounts the difference between tenacity and withdrawal in the face of a challenge. Y'all, what that basically means is that you are in control of how tenacious you are. Everyone in this room has faced challenge during their life. So how can science help us overcome future challenges? Today, I will discuss with you how the anterior mid-cingulate cortex works, why this area of the brain affects willpower and the desire to live, and 2 scientific techniques that you can implement today to make tomorrow's dreams become a reality. According to Dr. Andrew Huberman in a recent interview with David Goggins, he says that in many ways, scientists are beginning to think of the anterior mid-cingulate cortex not just as one of the seats of willpower, but perhaps the seat of the will to live. So how does the anterior mid-cingulate cortex work with the rest of the brain? According to the National Journal of Neuropsychiatry, a well-established article published in April of 2011 states that the anterior mid-cingulate cortex lies between the emotional limbic system and the cognitive prefrontal cortex. A study in 2013 showed that the anterior mid-cingulate cortex is the key part of our brain network, responsible for our ability to think about and control our movements in a purposeful way. For instance, when I was a young kid learning how to ride a bike, I would plan my movement, focusing on staying balanced while anticipating what was in front of me. But the whole time, my anterior mid-cingulate cortex was working in the background, keeping me motivated on learning how to ride the bike. But overall, you can think of the anterior mid-cingulate cortex as a central hub in your brain network, responsible for sending signals that guide to the emotional and cognitive functions within it. But why does this area of the brain affect willpower and our desire to live? The answer to this question is simple. The anterior mid-cingulate cortex is the key for leaning into undesired effort. Numerous studies suggest that like any other muscle in your body, this area of the brain grows when faced with intense and demanding challenges. And as this area of the brain grows, there's an increase for strong motivation for overcoming more challenge. A case study in Oxford in 2022 studied 2 groups undergoing surgery. The first group were superagers. These were older adults with excellent memories, equivalent to younger adults. The second group were typical older adults. The case study found that while typical older adults suffered serious mental changes after surgery, the superagers were completely resistant. So what was the key difference between the 2 groups? Well, the key difference between the 2 groups was that the size of the anterior mid-cingulate cortex in the superagers was far larger compared to the typical older adults. Now that we understand how the anterior mid-cingulate cortex works and why it affects willpower and our desire to live, we can now discuss 2 scientific techniques that you can implement today. The first technique is doing 150 to 200 minutes of low-intensity cardio a week. This simply means doing 20 to 25 minutes of low-intensity cardio a day, and while working out, maintaining a heart rate above 100 beats per minute. If you would like to know the easiest way to do this, what I personally do is I go to the Fit Rec Center and I get on one of their recumbent bike machines and I pedal away for 20 to 25 minutes at a time. And while doing so, I watch YouTube videos and play games on my phone. It's super easy to do. Another way to increase the size of the anterior mid-cingulate cortex, suggested by Dr. Andrew Huberman, is what he refers to as microsucks. These actions suck just enough that you are forced to put in extra effort to do them. Pick something where the impulse to do anything else is very high. This can mean doing the dishes, taking cold showers in the morning, or finishing that essay that was due last week. Today, I discussed the new neuroscientific studies on how to increase willpower and the desire to live, and how these studies affect many aspects of our lives. I discussed how the anterior mid-cingulate cortex works, and why this area of the brain affects willpower and the desire to live, and 2 scientific techniques that you can implement today. For those of you who raised your hand, which was all of you, know that achieving your goals and dreams is possible. Implement the tools you learned today, and just like the people here who overcame challenge and achieved their dreams through perseverance, you can make your dreams become a reality.